It's IdoNotes episode 126. This time I sit with the president of Tembo Social. We talk all about the Hive. This one's brought to you by Connectrio, your leader in hosting. Welcome, everybody. It's another IdoNotes podcast. We are live, this time with the president of Tembo Social, hot in the news, Stephen Green. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thanks very much, Chris.
Not a problem. So you're in Toronto. We were just talking about it.
I am up here in beautiful Toronto.
In your lovely studio.
That's right, my office studio.
Your office studio. So you guys launched big on the scene a few weeks ago, and I reached out to you to get you on because we definitely want to talk about it. You were on the blogs. You were in some emails I got. You guys were in pretty much everything for a week. And I want to introduce everybody to what you guys do, what you make. You revolve around, of course, we know social business, but the Connections software. And I'm going to let you give them the rundown of what Tembo is, how long you guys have been around, what it means, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, so Tembo Social, we've been around we're into our 13th year, believe it or not. So we were doing social before people were calling it social. And we started off with a narrower set of solutions. We'd actually originally started with a polling tool, which was a polling tool that took polls and turned them to a business tool, something where you could actually engage people and create conversations online and share opinions amongst a large group of participants.
Nice.
It was a product that really just took off for us. It was a really great, easy to implement, easy to manage tool. And then over the years, we introduced a number of new solutions. We kept expanding our product set to meet the needs of our customers. And in November of 2011, we actually changed our name to Tembo Social.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Tembo, you got to explain to them what Tembo means. I asked you twice if it was Teambo or internet companies. So what is Tembo?
Yeah, it's Tembo. So when we looked to change our name, we were looking at something that would reflect the social business that we're in. So we were looking at something where you could also get the .com, which is not an easy task. Right. So Tembo is actually Swahili for elephant. And elephants are known to be the most social creatures on the planet, even more social than humans. So we figured that we would adopt Tembo as our name and add social to it, TemboSocial.com.
It's probably one of the best stories I've heard in a long time from companies. You hear the names, they're missing letters of the alphabet. You know, there's no E's. Everything's silent now. So that one actually has a meaning behind it. I like that.
It does. It has a meaning behind it. And, you know, it's been a great evolution for us as a social collaboration tool provider. We've been doing this again for 13 years, and we service generally large organizations who are national or international is our primary focus. So we work with companies like TD Bank, Royal Bank, Iron Mountain, State Farm, State Street, Macy's, and we even service the U.S. Navy, servicemen and women, even on deployment.
Okay, nice. So you guys, you started with the banking up there in Canada, didn't you? I can tell. There's a lot of local names you're saying around there, a lot of Canadian names.
We have great penetration within Canada, but we're 50-50 between Canada and the United States.
Okay. Well, let's tell them about the product. This is what the news was about. I'm looking at my other monitor. The news was about the Hive. Now, that's our main focus here, right? Is the Hive. You do have a list of products. You should tell them there is more than just the Hive that you guys offer.
We do. We have 5 products in our suite. We have our multi-question branching polling tool, which also has a integration into Connections as well. Okay. We have a commenting and rating tool called implementaion. We have an idea marketplace tool, which is called Sparkplug, allowing you to put out a challenge to your audience to find a new idea to solve a problem. People can come and join that discussion. Like ideas are matched together. They flip up to the top for everybody to see. People can vote on ideas, and there's a whole back-end triage system that keeps the communication, people involved, bringing them back into the discussion.
Nice.
And then we have another tool, One Room, which is a live event space. You want to bring people together online for a live conversation, a lot of people, and you want to bring a panel or a subject matter expert or a panel of experts together. One Room is a really great tool for doing that.
So is it a video meeting space?
It's actually text-based.
Completely
text-based.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the big one. This is the one that got you all the buzz the past few of the blogs and stuff is Hive. So give them the rundown, and then we'll talk a little more about how it works and how it integrates.
Yeah. So the Hive is a peer-to-peer social recognition program, and we've been running the Hive since 2009. So we were actually the first people to introduce social recognition as a program. And we've been running it for over 40,000 employees at TD Bank since 2009. So we have the oldest running program, and we actually have now the largest running program with over 80,000 employees running the program at the Royal Bank. So it's a pretty exciting program. What it is and why we built it is companies spend billions of dollars each year on rewards and recognition programs. So most of those programs involve some sort of a points and prize-based solution. So your employee, you do a task, people say, oh, you did a good job, and then you get assigned some points, and then you can accumulate those points, and you can cash those in, in a catalog and get some sort of a trinket for them. And those programs are really very, very old technology. I'm not sure if you've heard of the book Drive by Dan Pink.
Okay.
But it's a fantastic book, and he's done a really great job at looking at research related to motivation and retention of talent and tying those back to rewards programs. And what he found is that the rewards programs that we have in place mostly today, which are points and prize based, are from an older time when people were doing repetitive tasks that really weren't conducive to the human condition. So, turn more screws during the day and do it without breaking them, and, you'll get rewarded for it. The old carrot and stick approach.
We do that now still. I don't care what it's called. It's clicking keys on keyboards. We do repetitive tasks every day.
You do repetitive tasks at that level, but when you step away from it from the higher level, you're collaborating with people. Yep. You're trying to figure out how and who can help you to do your job better and easier. And you have that flexibility of going out and collaborating with other people when you can find them.
You haven't been a Domino administrator. We're all alone. We live in back corners of rooms. They don't even know we exist anymore. Now, is yours just about the badges, or is it about other things? So you say recognition. What kind of recognition does the Hive offer?
Right. So when we look at recognition, we say, what is it that's really the motivator, the driver for people and organizations in knowledge-based economy? So the currency for employees today is really about recognition, about being able to build your profile, your personal legacy within the organization. How do people discover that I exist, and how do I accumulate peer-validated recognition tied to my personal profile so that people know that I'm a capable person who gets the job done?
Okay.
So what we've done is we said, in large organizations, we have content management systems to manage all the content on our site. We have document management systems. Right. We have HR management systems to manage our people. But when it came to recognition, all of the achievements and the contributions and the successes that people have contributed to make the company a great place to work get lost every day. Right. So what we did is we built the Hive. And the Hive is a place where people go in a company to recognize their peers, either as an individual or a group of people. Those stories get collected into a very public, browsable, searchable space. So now it becomes a business asset. So if you, Chris, are being asked to go into a product launch and you're in some small town somewhere and you've never done one before, you can either pick up the phone and call the marketing department and hope you get someone to help you, because you said you're alone in some room all day, or you would go into the Hive and you would search for product launch, and you would find the peer validated people in the Hive that other people said, wow, when it comes to a product launch, you want to call Rick Spratley. This is the guy who's helped us out 3 times, done a really, really great job each time, and because of our integration with Connections, you'd be able to just find out who he is, where he is, how to connect with them, his email address. With one click, you'd be in touch with Rick, the guy who everyone says, if you need to do a product launch, he's the guy who can help you get the job done.
Okay, so it's not self-nominated; it's actually peer-nominated. How is it controlled? Let me ask that at the high end first. How is it controlled and monitored so you know that it's always positive stuff that's being posted?
The amazing thing is that people understand the purpose of the program. So when you go in to interact with the Hive, what we're helping companies do is to reinforce their mission, their vision, their values. Okay. So the first step that you would do is say, I want to talk about how you did a really great job on this product launch. So you'd go in and you would select the value from the company as the first step. Which value from our company do I want to associate this story with? So right away, you're already into a process where you're linking your story to something that's positive.
Okay.
And then you'd follow by telling the story. The story is submitted. Our system will generate a beautiful email that gets sent off to you that ends up in your inbox. But it's not moderated. It's completely peer-to-peer. It's open. So if I submit a story, it'll continue through. The story will be delivered to you. It'll also be published into this public space in the gallery, which would be in a community on Connections as an example. And people would be able to see and read those stories. We also have a component where the stories are infused through the intranet through other iWidgets, which can be placed on other pages of Connections, where those stories would show up and the most recent stories would be displayed in a scrolling view. But the stories that would be displayed to you would be relevant to your industry, your department, your region that you work in.
Okay, so now is it also available? Is there some sort of, we're jumping around a little bit, but a management type screen so people can see overall this employee now has gotten so many reviews that maybe we need to be looking at them for whatever reason?
Absolutely. So there's a section which is called My Hive, and My Hive is a collection of your greatest hits.
Okay.
So I can go in and view your My Hive profile to get an idea of, I've heard about Chris. I keep hearing that he's been contributing to these projects. He's a really capable guy. Let me get to know more about him. So I can go and view your My Hive. Your My Hive will show the stories that you've received, the stories that you've sent as well. So I also want to see, what are you like as a manager?
Okay.
How are you contributing to the culture of the organization? And then I can also see the achievements that you've unlocked. So we do have a gamification component built into the program as well, where as you participate, you unlock achievements. And those are to do two things, motivation, that idea of the progress principle of giving you a sense that you're moving along through the program.
Right.
But also for some people in organizations, when you introduce a new program like the Hive and peer recognition, they may not know how to get started with the program. So the achievements are a really great way to say, you're not sure how to get started? Well, why don't you start by becoming an engager? Go and send a story to someone, like the story of somebody, and comment on the story of somebody. And then you do those simple tasks, and then you would unlock that first engager achievement.
Are these free-form things that I'm filling in? Or are they fields that are predetermined when you say you're giving someone the info?
It's free form.
Oh, wow. Okay. Images, text, video links, anything you want? Or?
Yeah, images, you can absolutely. So there's an image gallery, and the administrator of the program can update and manually change those whenever they like. One of the interesting things, so we have this program running at TD Bank, and actually the interesting thing is about how we got connected with Connections is that TD Bank has introduced Connections.
Yes.
So we've been running with them with their program, the Hive, at TD Bank. It's called Wow Moments, and we've been running it since 2009. So when they introduced Connections, they had decided that they would like to migrate the program into Connections. So that's when we started to look at Connections. We realized it's actually quite a powerful platform, and it would be really exciting to make that move with them.
Yeah.
So that's how it all actually got started for us. So serendipity is a great thing in life sometimes.
Yeah, because TD's been a reference. I know they've been all over the place. So now, where does this product, you said it's iWidgets and everything else, where does it actually sit? Are the customers installing it somewhere locally? Or are you guys having it hosted? How does that part work?
Yeah, so we're a hosted application.
Okay.
So just installing the iWidgets, you can create a community right away. For the banners on the secondary pages, we have an iWidget as well for that. So you can just install those on the profile page or on the widget page, anywhere that you like. And we are the ones who are actually providing and hosting the whole back end for the system.
Okay, so it's let's use the word. It's cloud.
It is cloud.
It's
yeah.
For those that are wondering, it's cloud. Nothing on premises then. So let's talk about the employee interaction a little bit. I was curious. So if I go in and I see you inside Connections and I say, you know what, he just did a great job, like you said, on this project. High end, what steps do I need to then give you this feedback or, give you what you need?
Yeah, so if I went to, if you were to go to my profile page in Connections,
okay.
On Connections, you would find right there a banner, and the banner would show the recognition that I've received previously, the other people who I work with, and right there tied to that banner, you'd be able to click right on Send Stephen a Beeline.
Okay.
So from the Hive, it's called Beelines. When our clients implement it, it's branded for themselves.
Okay.
For example, at Heineken, their program is called Cheers, and you would send people a punt, which fits in nicely with their world.
Of course. That makes perfect sense, actually.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. You have fun with it.
And humorously, I think IBM had a product before, something around the Hive. They actually had an internal product name, which is interesting. That was about people grouping together in context and things like that. It's interesting that you guys, that's where I thought this came from at first till I read the releases, is I thought this was part of their internal project. Now, how much customization can I do? Look, feel, badges, all that stuff.
Yeah, everything's completely customizable.
Okay.
So it's a template-based system, so you're able to brand it for your look and feel. The images that you're sending is the peer recognition, completely customizable. Okay. The awards that you're able to set up. So we also have an award mechanism built in. So we have peer-to-peer recognition. So so the step for that, just to go back to your earlier question, so you want to send me recognition, you would go to my profile page in Connections. Okay. From there on the banner, you'd be able to send me a beeline. You click Send a Beeline, it will take you into the community. and it'll take you right to the page where you create your beeline. The first step you would do is select the company value to which you'd like to associate the story you want to talk about me.
Okay.
And then you would select an image from the image gallery tied to that value that you would like to also link up to the story. Then you type in your message, and the next step is you would submit it. Email recognition comes to me on my news feed. There'd be a post letting me know in the news feed that you've just submitted a recognition about me. That's our integration with Connections as well.
Of course.
The story would end up published into the public browsable gallery, so everybody else will be able to see it. And then other people, when they see the story, they can interact with it as well. They can like it, they can comment on it, they can share it. So it becomes something that's a social contribution to the culture of the organization that becomes the type of base hit ideas that everybody can appropriate. So
Yes. Wow. Once you click it, what you just said, it's emailing you, it's putting it on your stream, it's going to their profile, it's everywhere. You're being talked about at that moment in time. One thing I liked and I saw when I was looking at the screenshots and the video and everything else was the way that you guys did the reward recognition, that it was twofold, which is different. A lot of them just do a badge or they just do, it's a game, but you're actually doing, as a reference point for those that know about it. So like a LinkedIn referral almost, you're actually doing a referral about somebody inside the company.
Absolutely. And we're doing the referral so that people, again, can build their personal legacy. This is a very, very important thing for employees within organizations. It's really important to be able to build that personal legacy. So going back to the folks at TD, they have branches. People come into branches every day to deal with them as customers. And one of the challenges they have is that the stories that would be celebrated from throughout the branch network would generally be these fairly extreme examples. So somebody comes into the branch, the person has a heart attack, an employee hops over the wicket, they go and they apply CPR to the customer, they revive them, and now we have their business banking and their mortgage. That's a great story that you want to tell loud and far and wide. But it's not a repeatable behavior that's actually going to be something that another employee can do tomorrow. But the employee who goes out to lunch, comes back from lunch, and before they go back behind the wicket, they stop and they say hi to the two customers in line, introduce themselves, get to know them. That's the type of story which can be told to the Hive of, employees saw someone else do that, thought it was a really good idea, and that story becomes socialized. It's a small behavior that really shapes the culture of your company. So someone on the other side of the country can read that story and say, oh, that's a really great idea. I can do that tomorrow as well. And they can jump in and say, hey, that was a great idea. I did it. I met 3 customers, and I've actually, got their credit card business now. Great idea. So those are the types of things that really help a company become, have that competitive advantage. When your employees are focused on the customer experience and they understand the values, you win the game.
So we need a lunch badge. Is apparently what you're saying at this point. A badge that shows that you take lunch. The last part of the product that, and you keep it at the bottom of the page, is the analytics. And that's going to be important to everybody, is how much are they using it? Are people getting rewarded? Who's, doing the best, or I shouldn't say the best because it's not a competition, but who's receiving accolades or whatever. So what kind of analytics did you guys build into this thing?
Yeah, we have very detailed analytics. Again, this is a fairly mature product, so since 2019, the analytics will show everything from what's your overall engagement, what's your engagement by region, by department, information that you need to be able to correlate participation in the social program back to your customer experience index scores that you're conducting with external vendors who are doing that type of assessment for you.
Sure.
So again, back to TD, they've won the JD Power Customer Service Awards 6 years in a row. So they're able to look back and say, okay, here are the regions where customer index scores are the strongest. How does that correlate back to people participating in recognition within the company?
Gotcha.
Because of the way that our program provides that data, it's very, very easy to export and do that type of correlation.
Nice. Well, tell them, where should they be going to? Well, one, we'll link to the video that you guys did, the demo video for IBM. We'll definitely get that. But where should they go to contact you guys, get more information besides, of course, TemboSocial.com? But anywhere else that you should send them?
Yeah, TemboSocial.com is certainly a great place to start. You're able to go and view we have a product page there for the Hive, which tells you quite a bit of information about the solution. There's also a PowerPoint that you can download off that page that's a product walkthrough. Shows you a lot of it, the features and the functions. People are welcome to contact me directly at any time. I'm Steven, Steven, at TemboSocial.com. More than happy to speak to anybody, answer any questions.
And we should point out a few other things that are on here we didn't talk about real quick for everyone knows. Multi-language support for our international viewers I have.
That's right. We support all global languages.
Okay. And then the last one, we'll say it because we have to, because a lot of companies are running it. You guys do SharePoint 2 integration.
The reality is that for internal, there's a lot. SharePoint had a good, strong run, and they are in a lot of implementations. They have a lot, really huge penetration.
I have a lot of viewers that run Notes, but then they run, SharePoint. So it works either way because you guys are also cloud-based, so it doesn't really matter either way, right? I was trying to see if there's anything else major, anything else we missed. I don't think we missed anything. You guys are on Twitter. You guys have demos. You have product tours. You have pretty much everything a website could possibly want, which is nice to see because, like you said, you've been around a little while.
Yeah, we have a great blog as well. We work really hard on our blog, and we also have great white papers that are available on our site that are free.
Okay.
We currently have 4 very, very excellent white papers all on social recognition.
Excellent.
We just launched one just 2 weeks ago on gamification.
Nice.
It's a really great one, which we've been getting a lot of coverage on. So feel free to go and download that one as well.
Yeah, it's a hot topic, as everyone knows. We talked to him. We talked about this before. We talked to Bunchball on gamification. Kudos badges are out around gamification. But you guys take a different aspect that the other two don't per se, because you're doing the whole referral recommendation, accolades type thing. So.
That's right. I saw your presentation with Rajat from Bunchball, and those guys have an amazing product. It's fantastic.
Yep.
A lot of people ask us, our product is very different. Theirs is about orienting you to connections, which is a very valuable thing to do because it is a complex piece of software. Right. And then ours is a program that actually complements the entire experience of collaboration and what Connections is all about. And it's an ongoing program about being able to capture and share the stories that really make the company a great place for customers and employees to continue their business and their careers.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. No, that's actually good. So for everybody, it's TemboSocial.com. The link will be in the show notes. The link I'll put at the top of the video so you guys know what it is. No problem there. You guys get everything on the website, the white papers, the blog, the product demo, what else? The information about Hive itself and the other ones. So if not, call Steve direct.
Absolutely.
Just get on the phone. He's Eastern time, but call him directly. We'd appreciate it. Steve, you hang on a second. Everybody else, we will be back again shortly with another one, and that's another IdoNotes podcast.